sold their name. They can't go to the next generation. Their kids don't want to take it. And we're one of those consecutive businesses after 81 years. And that's what we do for a living. I make product, and that's what I do. My grandfather, by the way, was a barber. And like most of the people here who are cosmetologists, he was a barber and decided, like most of the men in this industry, he wanted his name on a product. Started out by making witch wax, crew cut, flat tops, and then broadened it into other products like styling gels and shampoos and hairsprays, aftershaves, all the brands that you currently see, and we do those brands. I also do them for about 20 other companies under private label contract. So the same factory that probably makes something for something you like, I make a competitor or a competitor's. One of the funny examples that I probably shouldn't tell but have a kick at telling is we invented the thick and creamy cuticle softener, which most of you use if you like thick and creamy cuticle softener. One of my competitors, a very nice guy, has Blue Cross. He makes a thinner kind. It's a little more watery. Very nice product, works very well. But one of my the ideas of my family was to make one that was a little thicker, seems to have a nicer feel. The beauty supplies who stock it will stock it in about 5 different brands. It's the same product. It's either white, pink, or blue. I don't even change the perfumes on any of them. But if you go by it, and that's okay. You buy the brand you like and the name you like, the brand you trust, the name you trust. Oftentimes there's product similarities and a lot of other things that you currently buy. People who make wristwatches, fancy wristwatches. The same movement is made by the same people who build parts in China, send them to Switzerland or wherever, and they're all put together by different people, but they put different names on them. Unfortunately, in my case, shampoo is the same way. I'll buy products from the same manufacturers that 700 of my competitors throughout the United States make. And I'm one of 300 here in California that we have probably the most of the contract packagers, but there's 700 of us, 750 something or another, if I'm not, depending on who's in and who's out of business today. But if you wanted your shampoo to be made in Florida and you're a Florida person, call somebody in Florida who does what I do, because we all buy from Pilot Chemical Company for our surfactants, or Stepan Company, or they make the products that we all use, we blend with. It's kind of like saying, I'm going to be a cook and I want to buy peas. Do I get it from Del Monte, or do I get it from Swanson, or do I making peas? It's peas. It's dinner. You cook, you eat, life is good. I don't know how many people have ever gone to a restaurant and say, what brand of peas did you use on my plate? No one really cares. Or coffee. Juan Valdez picks it off the thing, brings it down the hill on his burro, goes there, coffee guys go to these warehouses, bid on bags of coffee, and they grind it up, and that's your brand, whether it's MJB, and they make in adjustments. The adjustments are the cute part, where they make it taste like Folgers. Name it coffee brand. Most of the time people have a preference. I don't. I grab the first can of coffee that's the cheapest coffee. It's coffee, and I can't tell the difference and taste the difference, but I know the advertisements tell me I'm supposed to like it better. I'm kind of one of those people that don't buy the advertisements, and I'm the guy that was absolutely made for TiVos. Everything I watch on my television set is TiVoed. There isn't a commercial that I watch. Sad to the commercial people. What's the point? It's just somebody doing something, and if you notice in your case, shampoo is marketed to you. We understand that in our business, 80% of all shampoo is purchased by women. 80%. The other 20% are guys that don't have a significant other, or their mothers don't buy them shampoo anymore, whatever the case is. But if they had a significant other, they would have shampoo purchased for them. But you ladies love it. How do you buy shampoo, and how do we market to you? Because we see the commercials with the lovely actresses all swishing their hair, going, ooh, 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 my hair is something, 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 and you think it's great. Us guys, you know, could care less, but apparently you guys are hooked on what the style is, what the shampoo does, and everything else, because you're looking glamorous so you can impress other ladies. That's how the marketing goes. First thing you do when you buy a bottle is you look at, oh, great looking bottle. You make sure that it's really thick and creamy and heavy and super gummy. Then you smell it. God knows why you smell everything, but you can't buy it without smelling it. It's something. I'm sure there's a masculine version that you can all explain to me in different terms why you have. My wife, who is 65 years old, will be in the office, and one of the sales ladies will bring her brand new baby to show it off. You know, you got a new baby. What do? You show it off. Margaret wants to hold the baby. What does she do? She smells it. Why? I don't smell babies. Don't want to smell babies. Don't have any idea that I want to smell babies. Don't even want to get that close to the baby to even try to smell it. And my wife says, oh, there's a new baby smell. Seriously? I thought, if I could find out what that smell is, I could put it in shampoo. I'd make a killing naming it Moisturizing Super Sheen Automatically Shiny Shampoo Baby Smell. And you gals would buy it by the ton. If you could figure out what that smell was. I have no clue. But you guys have this thing to smell. And that's how we purchase. Oftentimes, I'll take my mother to go shopping, and I'll stand in the aisle watching the people come down the aisles at a salon or a Target or a beauty supply. And the number one way you pick the product is not what it says on the label, which we knock ourselves out advertising, moisturizing, volumizing, organic, naturally organic, hypoallergenic, made in America, no animal testing, everything under the sun, and you still smell it. And you won't buy it until it smells right. I don't know if it's any better or any worse, but if anybody wants to go to Belle May, just down the street on Van Nuys and Haskell Avenue, they have like 25,000 perfumes. You can buy the perfume you like, bring it to me, and I'll stick it in any shampoo you want. Done. And as long as you can sell it, you've made money. If you can't sell it, you're stuck. And I've got 1,000 stories on why people pick product much like that, and I'll share one. I had a customer that came in, and her favorite, absolutely favorite, smell was lemon. Now, the only reason I took the order and helped her out was her husband was a movie actor, which I recognized, and they had some serious money. They had a lot of money, and I figured, okay, I'll indulge them. I'll make a lemon shampoo for her, which we did. And she thought she was going to be the next, you know, I don't know, fancy name lady out there like Mary Kay or something, and take it to all her Hollywood friends and her Beverly Hills friends and her salon, and they would just think it's the greatest thing in the world. Everybody hated it, I heard. The man said everybody said it smelled like bathroom deodorizer because it was lemony, smelly, freshy thingy, and nobody liked it. Well, that was it broke her heart because her house was yellow and their Rolls Royce was yellow, and gosh, she was just heartbroken that nobody thought the smell she picked would be embraced by everyone. So it's very hard to pick a smell that sells. That's the hardest thing that we ever do. I spend more time discussing perfumes than I do on any other ingredient in any shampoo. But that's the current trend. In the olden days, when my mother was a cosmetologist, by the way, she still is, she's 96, and I still pay for the license. She basically cuts hair at Senior Center was her last thing that she's done. She's had her license for 78 years. Graduated beauty college in 1936 at the Marinella School of Beauty in Los Angeles when it was downtown. And that's how far back she goes. And the times were different, hairstyles were different, products were certainly different. Those were the days when they had a crokinole machine, which probably nobody in this room even knows what it was, what it is, and what it looks like. Wait a minute, you know how to do crokinole? I don't even know how to spell crokinole, but it's a device that has electrical gizmos that come down, you wind up your hair in it, plug it in, and I think you electrocute the lady and the hair does something or another. But it's something that was very popular around the 1930s, 1940s. But that was how long she's done hair, and the evolution of where we are today has changed dramatically. Up until about 25, I would say maybe 25, 30 years ago, the concept of buying a shampoo from your hairdresser was not heard of. This is a recent idea and a recent thought. Basically, 40% of most salons' income comes from the retailing of a product, which is what we see today, whether it's the current brand of the Month Club, which is kind of what we see today, because as you know, the evolution of shampoo is to get you salon owners to buy the product, embrace the product, convince your customers to buy the product because it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, allowing the owner to build brand name, some sort of recognition, and as soon as he has the ability to talk to a Walmart, a Costco, a Rite Aid, a Long's drugstore, bango, it's converted over. Everything that was there that everybody has said, oh, you can't buy L'Oreal because that's a store-bought brand. At one time, that was in a salon. Clairol, at one time, that was a professional label. Marketing. So to understand what marketing means and why you spend your money, the trick will be to stay in business. Don't buy something you need, to spend on somebody you don't like with money you don't have. Basic Business 101. Try to buy something you can afford to stay in business. Now, why do I do these? Since I'm trying to do this to gain customers, and you guys are potential customers. It's real simple. I want to keep you in business for a long time. Being on the board of Barber and Cosmetology, here in California, one of the things that I learned, sadly, was in 5 years, 80% of you will not be in this business. 5 years, 80% gone. Why? You don't know how to make money. The whole secret to this business is do a service that somebody likes, get them to come back, make money, be in it for 40 years, retire, have a good time like my mother did, like my grandfather did, like a lot of people that I knew. Who buys my company's brand? You ever heard of it? Most of you don't. Namies is, not Namies, Booba, I think that is closest to you here. They're out of business. Did they want to push professional products? They did not. You professionals want professional products, not the product that anybody can get at any salon, anywhere, be competitive with, find it Rite Aid, find it Swap Meets. You got to have something that you can afford to use on your client that you make money. Why? Because the service is what sells yourself. You have to warm that seat. Somebody has to come in, having a sign up that says, I have whatever brand you're talking about, whether it's Jingles or Unique or pick brand. Nobody walks in by going, oh, look what product brand they have. I think I'll try the hairdresser out. They buy because of your reputation and your quality. Now, what are the reasons you may fail? One of the questions. It has nothing to do with shampoo, but it's interesting in case you're also curious. The number one reason why somebody leaves you and doesn't come back or gets disappointed is not because you do a bad job. That's actually number 6. The reason somebody will leave you is because it's not clean, or it's not sterile, or it doesn't look good. It's like going to a restaurant and having sticky counters or tables. Everything's nasty. A doctor's office the same way, where nobody wants to come back to that. You come back for cleanliness. If the place is sharp and clean and hair's picked up, guess what? That's really a good sign on why how you get the customer to be attracted to you. You basically have appearance. So your appearance is vital. Your conversation is vital. Making a friend is vital. Doing the services that they understand is vital. You're here because these instructors will teach you how to operate with your hands and your heart. The second step is if you can sell and make extra money, that's a bonus. But you gotta keep the customers to come back, or number one, you don't make money on the service, and number two, you'll never make money off a retail of whatever you choose to retail. But number one, you've got to have that return business. It's easier to keep a customer than it is to find a new one, and that happens in every business, and especially in the service business where you're going to find customers and you want them to be your friend, come back because you do a great job, you're fun, you're cute, you're nice, whatever you can do to them. Number two, one of the interesting things that we sell by products, don't give away your secrets. If somebody's doing a hair color, don't teach them how to do it so they don't come back in. Tell them it's very complicated. You spent years and years and years to learn how to do proper hair coloring. Come back to see me. I'll open up on Monday morning when I'm on a vacation day. That means money. You want them to come in and have you do the service so you can collect a check. Every once in a while, once a month, she would take all that grease, put it into a bucket of boiling water, add any lye, alkali, anything that had a pH greater than 7. And basically she went and got just plain old lye to make lye soap. Stuck it in the pan, boiled it up, stirred it up, whipped it up, and guess what? It turned into soap. Saponification is where we use to say, it's where we got the word saponify from. And basically the product changed emulsions and became this nice gooey lubricant, has glycerin in it. During World War II, we turned our grease, well, my parents turned their greases in so the government could use that product in order to get glycerin out of. You take nitric acid, you take glycerin, everybody knows what happens. Nitroglycerin, you can blow up things with that. And they needed all that for munitions and war effort. We needed a product to clean because obviously soap is, you know, if you're going to turn your stuff in, you have to still get bathed and clean. And the military needed to clean the military because a dirty soldier is not an effective weapon. You can't have diseases, an athlete's foot, and him running around trying to be an effective warrior if somebody else is healthier and stronger. German fella, by the way, invented the first detergent molecule. Fella, I think his last name was Hinkle. Very nice man. He invented what we call the sodium lauryl sulfate product or molecule, SLS. You guys have seen it. Some of you don't like it. It's now the new detergent. SLS is, I guess, the one where we're trying to say nobody wants sulfates anymore. But that was the first detergent. And we got it as a war product at the end of the World War II. We got that, the Bayer aspirin formula, and Herman the German, a large, big crane down in Long Beach Harbor. If you take the cruise, you'll see it. It lifts these battleships out and sticks them in dry dock. But that was the first thing that we received, was the SLS formula and Bayer aspirin, which were important because aspirin was a very vital part. President Clinton, by the way, gave the Bayer name back to the Bayer company in Germany, I think during his administration. And in German it's pronounced Bayer, by the way, kind of like the racetracks. If you see the Bayer number, he's German. But it's Bayer pronounced Bayer in American. But the molecule is very simple. He figured out how to get the grease without using the grease. And the grease was very simple. You're greasy. You sweat. Your hair is greasy, oily. Obviously, so if there's the oily, greasy hair, he just needed something to combine with your oil, add water, and create soap on your head. SLS did that. The sulfate molecule would become bonded with that in any temperature. It already had its alkaline substance built in, and you added water at any temperature, by the way. You didn't have to warm it up or cool it down. All temperature, you know. You could wash in cold water, hot water, medium water, pond water, whatever, and it formed a nice lubricant. It made the water wetter, and the grease washed right off. One of the things that we do today, and you can probably see and test, is you take any detergent, have your client lay in the sink, wet the hair, put the detergent on it, let it run into the sink, squirt it, and it's clean. You don't have to do the manipulation. We do the manipulation because when we needed soap, we had a scrub. Just like in the old days with soap, you had a scrub board or an old Maytag, which beat the clothes to death. And it literally just, they chunked. Today, new modern washing machines, they kind of vibrate quietly because the detergents are so effective. You just kind of move it around, makes the water wetter, the dirt floats right off, goes down the drain. And that's what happens with all the detergents we have today. Sodium lauryl sulfate being the first, ammonium lauryl sulfate being another one, sodium lauryl ether sulfate being another one. We vary those depending on what advertisement we want to make.
Sorry, so when it says sulfate-free, they're going to have one of the other...
No, they're not. We have another product that's sulfate-free, which is a good question. Sulfate-free came along from a company, I believe, in Palm Springs called Guilford Ranker, which does WIM. And I believe they were the first ones to do it, if my history has me right. Now, everybody and their brother's making sulfate-free. I know the sulfate-free product, and I don't know about them or whoever, but when we do Rug Doctor, it's the same product as in Rug Doctor. We want a sulfate-free on your rug for several reasons. We need it really thin because you're squirting it on your rug, and so it has to be a very thin shampoo. Number two, you don't want foam because how are you going to vacuum up the foam off your rug? So you want it really not much foam. And you want to see the, the little funnely, sucky thing. You want to see the dirt come up so it makes you feel like you're doing something. And then when it dries, you just vacuum up any residual powder that may be left over. Sulfate-free. But it's caught on, by the way. Now, everybody and their brother's asking for sulfate shampoo. Problem is nobody really likes it because it's not thick, it doesn't lather, and you have to use half a bottle to clean with it, as everybody's probably tried it knows. But that doesn't stop everybody from asking for it because we're trying to sell product. Remember, that's our job, is to convince you to buy it because we're saying, oh, it's good for color-treated hair. We've been selling shampoo for color-treated hair for 30 years. What makes all of a sudden it bad 15 minutes later after we have a sulfate-free? Well, what were we using 2 weeks ago before we bought it? Well, we had product for color-treated hair. But now we can't use that anymore. We have to use this. But that's the marketing aspect of sulfate-free. Is it any better? I can't stand it, to be honest with you. I've tried a couple of them. I've experimented with them and really had to put in some secondary surfactants, which are sulfate-free secondary surfactants, to build the foam and build the viscosity to make it look like something that you customers would like to have. You still want that rich, creamy, lots of lather. You want to do the manipulation. Now, why do you do the manipulation? That's interesting. When we had soap, you had to scrub the guy's hair. Scrubbing came from the word, or let me ask you this, let's put it another way. Shampoo. Why do we call what you use on people shampoo where everything else is detergent? Laundry detergent, carpeting detergent, car detergent, washing detergent, pet detergent. It's detergents. Except for you ladies, and now it goes to shampoo. Because the Hindus had a name called shampooya, called massage, and these British guy who was over there thought, oh, that's cool, this is what you're doing. You're massaging the guy's scalp or a lady's scalp, and this is massaging, so shampooya, called shampoo. So it's called shampoo today. You don't call it, I'm washing my hair with detergent. Thank you very much. Tough name, but you guys like it. It's shampoo. Sounds better anyway. You don't want to say, give me the detergent bottle. You know, customers don't like it. I want to hear shampoo. So everything's named shampoo. But, you know, same product that we make for shampoo, I can put in a number of other things. We sell shampoo or detergent for the car washes the same way. Your car needs to get a lot of bubbles.
The same ingredients?
Pardon me?
The same, most same ingredients?
Yes. A car doesn't know the difference. All you want is the dirt off the... Well, a lot of times we have to make it less expensive. It's a good question. Because it's a car. The car doesn't have that, you know, feel-good thing. You're not doing something nice for the car. The car doesn't care. It's just a machine. Up until 1950, soap was just animal fat and one oxidizing agent that shifted the pH in plain old water. Nothing was more basic than soap, and for 6,000 years we used it. Then detergents came along, and then we've been jiggling them with it, just like you have a recipe for, you know, mother's home strudel, and everybody has their own recipe. Is it better? It just works. It's kind of like, and I normally bring stuff to show you, but the reality is what's better, Excedrin with acetophenamine, or Tylenol with acetophenamine, or Bearer with acetophenamine? It's acetophenamine. Which one works better? It's whatever you think. So it should be, I'm putting everything under the sun in shampoos for every contract that comes my way. I have literally put every organic known to man in something, whether it's sea kelp, green tea, chamomile, horse's tail, liang, and there isn't anyone in this room that knows what liang is, but you know what we put it in, and you go, oh, look, it has liang, and you go, what is liang? You don't know, and I ain't going to tell you. But this, you know, people have asked, well, I want green tea in my shampoo. I want a green tea shampoo. Not a problem. I go to Smart & Final, buy a box of green tea, come home, put it in my coffee pot, pour myself a cup, dump the rest in the tank. It's got green tea in it. That's all you need to know because it looks good on the label. Did your hair feel better? I hope so. I had a great cup of green tea while I poured the rest of the coffee pot in the tank. That's all we have to do to make the label happy. If I poured in 50 gallons of green tea, did it make your hair happier? No. Hair basically wants to be clean. The trick is if I put it in, remember the detergent? That has one job. Strip everything clean. That's all it has to do. It's a cleaner. And it's a detergent. You want your body, remember the two things you wash is besides the hair, is the skin and scalp. You want to be clean. This whole thing was cleanliness. That's why it was invented. That's why soap. That's why I call it personal hygiene. What you guys do here is make people look beautiful as the secondary thing you do. Number one, they can clean their hair at home. They don't need you. Why would they care about what shampoo you use? wash your hair at home, come see you, do your hair. That's a bonus. If you can sell them a shampoo, even better. Trick is explain to them why I have something in it. The new buzzword, by the way, is not sulfate free. I'm being asked now to have detergent free. We don't want sulfates or non-sulfates. We want detergent free. I'm getting more and more of those, where I'm going to the next level because those people are trying to oversell the sulfate free people. And that's the new buzzword out there, is the people who are looking for the detergent free product. So guess what? We're working on shampoo cleaners that have no detergents.